So hello friends, welcome to Mentor Vikas channel. In this video, we are going to understand how we can execute our JavaScript code outside of our browser, right? So as we know that each browser have some JavaScript engines, right? And those engines were used to execute our JavaScript code. Okay, as you can see here, that in Chrome we have this V8 engine. In Microsoft Microsoft Firefox we have this SpiderMonkey. That is the engine responsible for execution of the JavaScript code. As in Safari, we have JavaScript core. We have in Internet Explorer this Chakra, and Chromium V8 engine in Microsoft Edge and or Brave or Chromium based browsers. Okay, nowadays it is even in Chromium 8 browsers we are directly using this V8 engine because which is developed by Google, and it is quite good while performing, right? But now our concern is how we can execute our JavaScript code outside of our browser, right? So to do this, we have multiple options. Like the most popular one is node.js. Apart from this, we can execute our JavaScript code by using command lines. Other forms are like we can use the SpiderMonkey or these other applications, or you can say other softwares that were built to run the JavaScript code, right? And we can integrate those to our application and build our own applications, right? Or there are many online platforms that we can use. Okay, so let's talk about that. We have one of the alternative that we have to run our JavaScript code on our local browser, right? On our local system is node.js. Apart from this, you can also use Deno, right? Deno, right? And you can also use this bun.js. Okay, now bun.js is quite getting a lot of popularity because of its architecture. Okay, so let's leave it. We go with this node.js, right? So basically what this node.js or this Deno or this bun.js is, okay, so basically they are provided us the runtime environment. Okay, so what is a runtime environment? So let's understand what is an environment first. Okay, so so a runtime environment simply means that, okay, you want to play football. Okay, you want to play football, but to play a football you must have a court, okay, and this goalpost, and within this goalpost there should be some distance, okay, so where you can play your football. At the same time, if you are willing to play cricket, there must be an arrangement for that, okay. And if you are want to playing a chess, there must be a chess board and two persons to play, right? So these are the environment. Okay, so what is that environment? That environment which allows you to perform some activity. Okay, so at the same time, that environment which allows to run the JavaScript code. Okay, so that we called this node.js. So node.js in an environment which allows to run our JavaScript code. Okay, so with the same as node.js, we have this Deno.js, this bun.js. They also allows you to run your JavaScript outside of your code. Okay, so firstly, what we need to do, we need to first install the JavaScript code. We need to install the node.js on our local system, and then we can execute our JavaScript files. Okay, and just remember, all the JavaScript files that we do create is either of the extension JS refers to JavaScript. .js, for example, I am creating a file with a name of file, and with this I just have to add a JavaScript .js extension. Just this JS extension will inform my environment variables that, okay, this is the file where we have our JavaScript code and you can execute this, right? Okay, great. So let's understand further. So how we can basically use node.js into our application. To do this, we just have to firstly install the node.js. So where you can install this node.js, if you are using Mac or you are using a Windows, you can simply go to this website, that is nodejs.org/en/download, and here we have all these options that you can, all the different methods that you can use to install node.js onto your application. Okay, and if you are using Ubuntu, you must have familiar with that, you are using that command line to install your node.js package. Okay, so after installation, what you had find, if you just go to your cmd, right, that your terminal, and here if you type this node -v, right, then there it should reflect a version. Okay, so if you are not getting a version, any version, that it means that you had not successfully installed node.js on your system. Okay, so after that installation, after completing this installation process, you must have to check this by using this node -v, or in some other other cases you may also find this command for the same. Okay, this node --version, right? So you can check this by so, right? So next we have so after installing this, we can just simply create a file. Let's say I am just going to create a file with the name of file.js. okay, so because I'm using Ubuntu, I have to use this touch to create a file like file.js. Now you can see I have a file.js. I can open it, and to open it, it basically open this into a text editor, right? But basically I don't want to open this with my text editor, so I'm just going to open this with VS Code editor. Okay, so I'm just going to use this VS Code editor to make some changes in my file. Right now, if I can simply write my code here in this file.js, for example, let's console something. CONSOLE console. So console is the output. Console is the output, how you can give output instruction to your JavaScript code. Okay, so let's output Vikas Singh. Right. So if you just save this, and if you want to execute this file, now this time you are going to execute this file within your system, right? So to execute this file, you just have to use node and then name of your file. So the name of our file is file.js. So now you can see here we have console our code. Okay, so we had successfully executed your code. So this is the way how you can use node.js to execute your code. Okay, so the other part is that you can use your command line. So command line allows you to use that repl. So how you can, so the next question should be that how you can use command line, how to use command line to run JavaScript code, right? So if you just type this, then you will have a simple answer. So the basic requirement is the same. You must have a node.js, right? So there I had already told you that you can install it from here. Now, so the next thing is you can either use this, or if you are just willing to use your command line, you just need to go to the path. Okay, so here it goes to the path and it simply execute this. So basically it is not giving me the right way. Okay, so basically what you need to do, you just need to type repl, repl, right? So it's not repl. If you just type node, okay, so if you just type node, you have this interface. Okay, and in this interface you can simply execute your JavaScript code directly from your command line. Okay, so for example, now if I just type here console.log and giving something to console to give some output. So this is our output, right? And if I just execute this code, now you can see we have this console. Okay, even though if I am just creating a variable, let's say a, and within this a, I am just willing to add these two numbers. Okay, and now if I am going to console this a, so let's say I'm just going to console this a, console console.log, and then a. Now we have this sum of these 12 and 54. Okay, so this is an environment which you can use to execute your JavaScript code. Okay, and this is what we call repl. Okay, so what this basically repl refers to, what this basically repl refers to, it's read, evaluate, process, and what L stands for, I am basically for I basically not remember repl full form. Okay, it's brpl, but what it is referring to. repl, right? So it's read, evaluate, print and loop. Okay, so it's read, evaluate, print and loop. So basically what does it means? Firstly it read your code, then evaluate matlab evaluate means it basically interpret your code to machine language. Okay, your code to machine code. Okay, then it will process, it will execute your code, and finally it then again go to that start point. For example, here we have these number of lines. It started from here, it evaluate and execute, and finally after execution of this it will again go here, right? So if you give him instruction to again run the code, it will not start from here, it basically again start from here. That is what we call loop. Okay, great. So let's understand. So now we had also seen that how we can use this command line to execute our code, right? This command line to execute our code, and at the same time this is the type of a kind of way if you are building an application, a separate application, where you can use directly that V8 engine or the other popular engines that has written to provide the execution. And this is the third method. The third method is basically implied, where if you are trying to create an application, a separate software where you are trying to execute the JavaScript code, you can use these popular V8 engines or that spider monkey within your application, so that it will gives you the power to execute the JavaScript code. Okay, and there are some other online platforms that you can use. For example, here is the repl.it, this JS filler, and this code sandbox. You can also use Programmies, right, or Programmies.js. You can also use Code Chef. Okay, so there are a lot of online platforms that you can directly use to execute your JavaScript code. Okay, so this is all about this video, and now you have an understanding of how you can use your JavaScript code outside of your browser. So thanks for giving your time to this video. Okay, and I hope this adds some values to your coding journey. So let's meet you in our next video. Till then, have a nice day and goodbye.